Hello, I am Nele Neuhaus. I'm from Germany and I am the author of Snow White Must Die. I'm very proud of the publishing of Snow White Must Die in the UK, and today I'm going to read a little bit the prologue from my book in English, and I hope I can pronounce all the words. The rusty iron staircase leading downstairs was narrow and steep. He felt along the wall for the light switch, and seconds later the 25-watt bulb illuminated the space with a dim light. The heavy iron door opened without a sound. He oiled the hinges regularly so they wouldn't squeak and wake her up when he came to visit her. Warm air mixed with the sweetish scent of wilting flowers rose to meet him. Carefully he closed the door behind him, turned on the light and paused for a moment. The large room, about 30 feet long but 15 feet wide, was simply furnished, but she seemed to feel comfortable in here. He went over to the stereo and punched the play button. The voice of Bryan Adams filled the room. He didn't much care for this music, but she loved the Canadian singer, and he usually took her preferences into consideration. As long as he had to keep her hidden, she shouldn't laugh for anything. As usual, she said nothing. She never talked to him, never answered his questions, but that didn't bother him. He moved aside the folding screen that discreetly divided the room. There she lay, motionless and lovely on the narrow bed, her hands folded on her stomach, her long hair spread out like a black fan around her head. Beside the bed stood her shoes, and on the nightstand a bouquet of wilted lilies in a glass vase. "Hello, Snow White," he said softly. Beads of sweat formed on his brow. The heat was almost unbearable, but that was the way she liked it. Before, she had always been sensitive to cold. His gaze drifted to the photographs that he had put up beside her bed. He wanted to ask her whether he could put up a new one, but he needed to save this request for the proper moment when she wouldn't take offense. Cautiously, he sat down on the edge of the bed. The mattress sagged a bit under his weight, and for a moment he thought that she had moved. But no, she never moved. He reached out his hand and placed it on her cheek. Her skin had taken on a yellowish hue over the years, and now felt stiff and leathery. As always, she had her eyes closed, and even though her skin was no longer as tender and rosy, her mouth was still as beautiful as before, back when she still talked to him and smiled. He sat there for a long while looking at her. His desire to protect her had never felt so strong. "I have to be going," he said at last, regretfully. "I have so much to do." He got up, took the wilted flowers from the vase, and made sure that the bottle of cola on her nightstand was still full. "Tell me if you need anything, all right?" Sometimes he missed her laughter, and then he felt sad. Of course, he knew that she was dead, yet he still found it simpler to act as if he didn't know. He had never given up hoping for a smile from her.